This is the Mining Your Business podcast, a show all about process mining, data science, and advanced business analytics. I am Patrick. With me, as always, my colleague and my friend Jakub. Hey there.
Hola.
Coming up in this episode, how chatbots are improving the invoice to debt cycle, how process mining can drive customer satisfaction, and what a holistic approach to process mining can yield. Let's get into it.
Some companies are yet to start with a process mining initiative. Some companies are at the very beginning of the journey, starting with the implementation of the first processes where excitement is still sky high and people are still drunk on the new shiny technology. Some companies are months into process mining projects where the initial thrill is replaced with the realization of how long and fundamentally different this process mining journey is going to be, and that the tool itself, however great, won't solve the problems by itself. And last, there are companies, so-called early adopters, that are already years into process mining and have experienced both highs and lows that undoubtedly come with the territory. Departments of these companies are evolving and making strategic decisions based on the findings from the process mining tools and are literally transforming into the digital-ready companies we so often read about in the news. Portuguese electric utilities company EDP is such an organization. To talk about its journey, transformation, and the future steps, we have here today Ricardo Henriques, who is in charge of business and transformation in EDP. Ricardo, welcome to our podcast. It's our utmost pleasure to have you here.
Hello. It's a pleasure also to be here and nice opportunity to interact with you.
The pleasure is all ours, Ricardo. I was very excited when you reached out because you are basically a co-author on the book of Process Mining in Action of our former guest, Lars Reinkemeyer. So everyone who listens to it, if you want to know more about Lars, just go and listen to our previous episode. But Ricardo, now it's all about you. So you are currently, let's say, a lead in business enablement and transformation in EDP. What does it even mean? What is your what are your daily duties? What do you do?
Okay, so let's start to have some context about EDP. So EDP aims to be the digital utility, and now is present in more than 20 different countries all over the world. With business in generation, so renewables, traditional generation, and all the chain value, so distribution, shared services, and also the retail business of supplying energy. I'm in the EDP Commercial, so we are in the front of the final users, the final customers, which is a very interesting challenge to interact with our final customers and making business with a huge challenge of the energy transition that we are now facing due to the climate change. And now the energy retailers, they are not only us, but almost this industry, they are trying to be the energy transition partners in the future, because it's not anymore a kind of selling energy, electricity or gas, but provide additional services and additional energy efficiency services for the future, like we have electrical mobility or solar PV solutions and things like that. So my role, and I'm leading a team with the 5 different areas, the business enablement and transformation team. The first one is regarding our business process management, and where we are doing all the business mapping and the business cartography of EDP Commercial, and also where we are certifying our company with ISO 9001. This is the first area that we have. Another one is regarding knowledge management, because we have to support all the front offices, contact centers, branch office, and also back office operations with a lot of contacts, procedures, sales offer contents. So the knowledge management is completely crucial. And later I could share with you that knowledge management is also a relation with the process mining. The third one is robotic process automation. So where we are working since 6 years ago, and we are making a very interesting initiative with a federated model. So we don't have a traditional approach of a COE creating and maintaining everything. We are making all the upskilling of a community with more than 20 people that are in the HR or in the financial and the operations teams, and they are creating and maintaining their own robots. The fourth mission, and is the most related with process mining, is regarding process intelligence, where we start more or less 4 years ago, and where we are working in all the sales to DEP cycle, not only for B2C but also to B2B segments. And the last one is the digital acceleration. So our team is pivoting every initiatives regarding, for example, if we want to make a augmented reality digital project for a specific part of a process, we are pivoting with our IT team.
Fantastic. So I wanted to ask, just how much does process mining play a role in your digital transformation, in your goal into modeling these processes internally?
Okay, so this is a journey, and now we have a completely different maturity level compared with 4 years ago. But now I could share with you that process mining is completely impregnated in our structure. Not only because we are censoring business every day with more than 100 operational alarms where we are monitoring our processes, but also because we are making process mining initiatives using a capture value methodology. And we could deep dive a little bit about that way of sustain and retain value in a systematic way. So all this work is based in people collaboration. So we have a central team, but also process mining champions that are collaborating with us. And in a daily basis, we have more than 100 business users that are consuming process mining for the daily operations.
Wow, that is quite a lot.
Before Patrick asks the question, I must just say how great it's even to listen to this, because where we usually are as an implementation partner, we are at the beginning of the journey and we are, trying to set up these structures, and it's a long journey. And just to listen to you where you are already at, it's amazing, with 100 business users, with these structures in place where process mining is really supporting other initiatives and other departments. It's lovely. And now, Patrick, to your question.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to ask you, you mentioned this earlier, you're looking at the invoice to debt cycle. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that means specifically?
Okay, so 4 years ago, we made the first proof of value regarding invoice to debt. So we try to find out after generate an invoice, we collect a bunch of events until the energy supply interruption. So if the customer is paying or not that invoice, we are controlling all that initial cycle. So we have billing inside. We also have collection and debt management. But that was only our POV, because after in the first moment of our project, we expand a little bit that cycle. So we integrate also the sales part of contracting, and also the lead generation, which is a little bit different if we compare the B2C cycle with the B2B. And we also are using process mining for the customer care. So all the entire cycle regarding, for example, information requests, operational requests, complaints, we are managing with process mining.
May I ask, what was the initial, let's say, reason why you even opted out or started using process mining in the first place? Was it that you were already aware that there might be some inefficiencies in the process, or that you just wanted a full transparency? Or what was the trigger for you, for EDP, to start using process mining for these specific processes?
Yeah. So regarding our energy retail business, we have to balance different kind of challenges and goals. So we try to solve some complex problems regarding the nature of our business, because we have more than 4 million customers in Portugal. So it's not so easy to solve complex problems when you have to work with a big data approach, and also to understand customer behaviors in a massive way. But I think the main goals were to increase our customer satisfaction, and we are measuring this every year through the NPS. The other goal was related with reduce the cost to serve. So we need to be more efficient, while we should be more relevant to our customers. We need to increase the sales opportunity and have a strongest time to value. So trying to be relevant for our customers, and also ensure compliance and regulatory obligations. So the main 3 dimensions were: be relevant while being efficient and compliant. Okay.
I got here one specific question. So I actually studied smart buildings as my master's, and since we are talking about these invoice to debt cycle or sales to debt cycle, there are activities such as meter reading and creation of the meter. So basically, that's if I understand it correctly, that's something that's coming from the customer side, like an actual some machine that's reading the data back into your systems. And usually when we do implementations of process mining, it's quite straightforward. We have this system for invoices, sales, purchases, and everything. And the streamline of the data is relatively easy, I would say. Were you facing some difficulties in this specific regard, which is the data collection, or how did you address that at the beginning?
Yeah, that was also in the first year of our project. So we need to deal with a complex environment. So we are not only a traditional SAP system architecture. So the first main challenge was to lead with different kind of operational systems, not only SAP but also from another vendors. And even regarding the meter readings, I could share with you that we have two different kind of approaches. So in Portugal, we could have the DSO, so the operator of the grid that is in charge to provide that data to the retailers. So in that case, we are takers, but we could also have our customers giving us the meter readings. So regarding this, we are using also process mining to understand in the meter reading activity and to have some reconciliation between both visions. So not only the retailer but also the DSL. And this is very interesting because it's a way to understand where are the gaps and where we could improve and where we could also interact with the DSO and try to improve this part that is very important.
Were there some when you first implemented this, and I have to be honest, I've never seen this process before, so this is very interesting for me. Were there like already at the very beginning when you were doing the POV, like a first these moments when you were thinking, wow, is this really how our process looks like?
Yeah, we had several, but I could share with you one that was very interesting. So we start to understand one specific month of billing, and we discovered that our invoices are going through 5,000 different routes until the death. So we confirm that is completely impossible for a human, and the process owner it could explain the epipath, some exceptions, but having this vision is difficult to a human to explain.
Absolutely. You also mentioned before, and I this is one of the key points that I've learned personally from the podcast, is just how much value you can produce for the end customer of any process, right? So when you were mentioning that you were looking to drive the value of your end customers as much as possible, it was really nice to see that, some of these things that we've learned over the years is actually being, also done properly at EDP. One of the things that I wanted to ask, though, was how do you measure that customer satisfaction at the end? Like, what's the metric? How do you define that the process improvements that you've learned or the process insights correlate to the customer satisfaction at the end?
Yeah. So regarding that, we have different ways to measure, ways that are more detailed compared with another ones. So the first way to manage to measure is that we are using voice of customer mechanisms. So, for example, if a customer contact us in the final of the interaction, well, after that we try to get a specific feedback in that case, and we are integrated that rating in our process mining tool, like context. So as you are seeing, this is very interesting because it could give us a different vision about how we are executing the process, also with the satisfaction KPIs or things like that. So this is one first way of measure, and the other one that is broad is regarding the NPS. So we also have an NPS measurement.
Just sorry to stop you right there. Could you say what NPS stands for?
Net Promoter Score. So
Okay.
Net Promoter Score is a standard metric to measure customer satisfaction. Is a little bit more wider, not so detailed. But I think when we combine voice of customer and also NPS, this is a good way. There are another ones, but these two ones are very useful to measure.
So from what I understood is that there are context clues of the satisfaction of the customer that are put into the process. So from point A to sending the invoice to point B, there's like a measurement score of this is how satisfied our customers are with this part of our process.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That is very interesting, actually. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
We always just measure the throughput time or,
automation
the
rate or something. Yeah.
This is something new. Interesting. I was also wondering, like, when you starting doing these things, where the changes in terms of thinking about the process, and maybe also in terms of the slowly improving customer satisfaction, was it sudden, or did it take, let's say, a couple of months or even years before you start seeing some results? Because I know a lot of customers of ours and a lot of companies, organizations that are doing process mining have these very high expectations that are built up by reading and seeing or listening to content as ours, where people are already saying the successes. But in your case, how long did it even take to adapt and to improve whatever you were measuring?
Okay, so regarding capture value in a systematic way, the first lesson was we tried not to have an interruption between the POV and the real project. So continuing to deliver, to trying to deliver value, we didn't have any interruption between the POV and project. But I have to agree that in the first year of the project, the focus in our team was more to set up all the infrastructure,
Right.
all the technical parts, and also prepare our central team to manage this new reality, and also to learn not only functional knowledge about our processes. So I think the first year was more a discovery phase year, focused in the B2C.
Right.
But in average, we took almost 4 to 6 weeks discovering each new process. So
wow.
Because it also takes some time, but in the first year we also productize our way of delivery. So we are using agile Scrum approach, but yes, I think that capturing value is not immediately, but it also depends on the scope of our and the ambition of your initiative. So in our case, we know that we have only to give you a current metric. We have 65 million cases in the process mining. So that takes time to create all this ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. And again, this is something that I'm always trying to put a lot of emphasis when starting with a project, basically saying that Rome wasn't built in a day, and it takes time to get from not doing process mining to actually, harvesting the fruit of your labor. Another question I have is whether after implementing process mining and getting used to it and everything, was that something you could finally do that you couldn't do before you have the process mining?
Yes. The first thing that now we have, I think that we have several different topics here to answer you. So the first one is operational control and all the censoring in our business, which is very important due to the obligation regulatory things. So for us, that part is very important. And without process mining, it was very difficult to understand process exceptions. So we are censoring our business because we need to find out everyday exceptions that are running in our process. Another thing is that process exceptions sometimes they are not only being delivered to humans. So we have robots handling automatically that process exceptions. So that was also a different way of work. And we are also changing in almost the last 3 years and supporting the decision makers with a more transparent vision, and not only more transparent vision, but also if we need to simulate a specific change in a process, for example, contact our customers 2 days before or later, which kind of impact we are having, not only in that silo, but also in the entire customer experience. So visualize all the customer experience is something that now we are having. And last but not least, I think that is a huge difference. And this year we are taking part of that, is that we are having more valuable use cases regarding, for example, process automation, because of the insights that are coming from process mining analysis. Mm-hmm. So people are asking, oh, very interesting. Now we have less use cases, but each use case has a lot of value inside. Yes, it has a lot of value because it was analyzed with process mining.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that you have some part of the robotic processes that kind of trigger the non-compliant ones. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that works, how the system detects this, and what you do then with these non-compliant processes?
Okay, so regarding process exceptions, when we discover a new process, the first activity that we are doing is, okay, in the discovery phase, we try to understand some key process performance indicators related with the process, also some key performance indicators regarding business, and there we try to identify in a suggestive way from process mining if we have some variance that we need to handle using process mining, so implementing some new operational alarms, or even if our process owners or the process specialists gives us that kind of information. So after that, and after implementing that kind of alarms, we could deliver that information to humans. But in certain times, we find out that humans will be handle that input with a repetitive work. So as we also have in parallel our RPA ecosystem, we integrate both worlds, and we have robots that will take that input and go and do all the work that was the humans before doing that.
Great. You also mentioned something about simulations. I was also really wondering how that works. Do you look at past processes, past process variants, and future or other process variants and just benchmark the two? Or how do you go about simulating what a potential change in a process would look like?
Yeah. We didn't start yet simulation, process simulation, the pure one, because we don't have yet that capabilities. When I talk about simulation, was more to understand if I change a specific activity, after that being really fast, understanding and confirming if we are succeeding or not. Okay, so but in the future, our idea is to simulate in reality. So when I talk here about simulation, was more to giving the capabilities to the process owner and the process specialist. Okay, let's pilot a little different here in the process and try to understand if we are having more or less success.
Right. Ricardo, I was also intrigued when you said that basically process mining now consists of, let's say, or is making 20% of everything that you're doing now. And it's just let's say, part of the ecosystem in all these other technological developments and other tools that you're using. And I know that in our communication previous this interview, you mentioned also the usage of process mining together with RPAs and even chatbots. Could you elaborate on what you even meant by that and what role in this whole ecosystem does process mining play?
Okay. So regarding all the intelligent automation ecosystem, and as we also have some years of experience, we create a vision about which kind of value can we capture when we combine some of those technology. And regarding interactive automation, so assisted automation, so when we combine chatbots with the RPA behind the chatbots, process mining could play different roles and very interesting and important different roles. Why? Because if we make a previous analysis of the process mining could have the right inputs to design the chatbot. So we will not script the chatbot with the human bias of the process. So this is also very powerful because
sorry to interrupt. Could you maybe give us a real example from that process that you were analyzing before? Basically, that either the customer satisfaction or the debt to, or sorry, invoice to debt. Like, it's actually interesting. I never thought about it in this way. So an actual example would be really helpful.
Yeah. Imagine with process mining, we analyze our gas contract process, and we understood that we have a variance of 20 different routes between having the first contact and activating a contract. Okay, with a variance of different 20 different routes. We design a chatbot to assist our front office teams to give them the right recommendation about how they should activate the happy path when they will operate CRM systems and things like that. So it's only a recommendation chatbot, but that recommendation chatbot has a lot of insights from process mining. Wow. Because all the variance that we find out is there. Before having this chatbot, what happened was the humans in half times they will fail because there is big issues and challenges to know every different 20 routes to deal with this kind of particulars. So the idea here is to empower the front office with this knowledge in real time.
So essentially, what you're doing, taking the learnings, the key findings from process mining, implementing it into the chatbot, who already knows if there is this kind of deviation, it's very likely that there might be a problem at some point. So chatbot should tell the people, oh, did you actually want it to do something differently like that, and basically navigate them into so that the variant gets back into the happy path. Right?
Yes. And after that, this is the previous part. So to create the chatbots. But after that, we could, and we are also using process mining to monitor the user interaction with the chatbot. So which kind of routes of conversation the users are mostly using in the chatbot. And not only that, but also confirm the success after the conversation with the chatbot and confirm, for example, if the user used the chatbot and the contract activates in the happy path terms. So confirming also the success. So this entire vision is also very interesting regarding the adoption, because we could demonstrate to our front office users if they should or not use the chatbot, and if they are using in the best way.
Apart from chatbots, what other technologies are you already as EDP implementing or putting together to work in this ecosystem with process mining?
Yeah. So the other connection that we have is with the RPA. So with all the mimicking and human-like automation. And there, process mining is also playing an important role, because process mining could be a way to confirm if the robots are performing well, if they are doing the right job, or if they are if we need to redesign a little bit the process, and even to confirm that sometimes when we have a lot of rework and repetitions, maybe we should regret a little bit and not having a robot, but maybe a human should be better.
Right. Ricardo, we visited recently a process mining conference in Eindhoven, where there was a panel discussion, which was very interesting to me. And that was like, let's say, a battle between two sides, where one was pro automation and one was against automation. And basically there was a speaker, Casper Jans from Software AG, who was saying that automation is just a band-aid in terms of processes, that if you have to automate some part of the process, maybe you should think about whether redesigning the process first should be a better way, so that you don't even need the automation, because eventually it could turn into this massive environment where everything is automated, and there could be coming some other problems with that. And I know you actually wrote a little article about to automate or not to automate on LinkedIn as well. What are your takes on automation, especially after you see the process and you are measuring how automated separate activities are? And would you rather go the way of automating everything, or just stepping back and saying maybe our process needs some redesigning first?
Yes, I completely agree with that. So we should not automate inefficiency, because we are only expanding that. So in our case, we made some also cultural movements that I also want to share with you. One of them was that we create an RPA manifesto. So to educate our entire community regarding automation, that we should not automate processes. We should, before automate, we should re-engineer or redesign the process. We only need to automate if we conclude that automation will add value. And another question that we always are making is how long and what is the life cycle of this robot. So we also have a practice, and in our case, every year we are decommissioning almost 20% of our robots. So if you see our automation portfolio, we don't have more and more and more robots every year. Yes, we have increasing because the scope is also increasing. So we have more and more teams using automation. But we have this very important rule of asking, okay, how long this robot will survive.
Is that a rule that's followed strictly? Like we say, hey, this robot will only be operating for 6 months, but then it keeps getting extended because its value is being proven. Do you have to reevaluate things, or is it after 6 months? No, it's dead. We're going to move on.
Yeah, no, we need to manage the business impact of doing that. But in our case, as we are using a federated model, I could share with you that is a natural movement. So when I now observe our automation portfolio, I could see that, only to share with you, we have almost 50% of our portfolio that borns this year. So is a fresh one. But I could share also with you that maybe we have 1 or 2 automations that could have 3 or 4 years. So with the right justification, I think that is possible, because sometimes we are talking about external systems or external processes that we are not in charge or that we could not control.
Ricardo, you also mentioned that you kind of created this intelligent operations in the future, or basically you have this INSET thing, which stands for Strategy in the Age of Digital Disruption program. Could you elaborate a bit more on what that means, and what does it even do in your organization? Because I also have a follow-up question on that, and that's specifically how important is creating these overall strategy, this overall, let's say, I would even call it department that oversees these operations in terms of adoption, and what departments and in what form should they use these automation tools, these process mining tools, and so on. So if you could talk a bit about the structure that you've created in EDP, I'm quite certain that a lot of listeners will find a lot of value in that.
Okay, so having a step back, so EDP is aiming to be the future-proof organization, and to to be the future-proof organization must be global, agile, and efficient, working with talented and empowered people. So we need to create that governance models behind the scenes to engage. And what we are doing here specifically in EDP Comercial is that we are trying to giving this innovative and digitally driven way of work to the business operations teams. So to the people that is daily trying to solve their own problems, and not creating a culture of someone that is always requesting to the problem to be solved.
Right. I see. Would you say that having someone overseeing it who is not like a department dependent is an important step? Because I for instance, have a very recent experience where a customer is really struggling because they adopted a process mining tool as let's say one specific department, some procurement department. And now there is really no clear vision on how they can upgrade or take it over to other departments, because they have been clearly getting the value out of the tool, but there is still lacking the force behind that could take it and carry it over to the whole organization and basically change this whole understanding on how that can be leveraged.
Yeah. Regarding that, my recommendation, and according to my experience, is to have this entire vision. I think that having a specific initial project or initial challenge is very interesting, but in some moment in time, we need to scale. So to scale, we need to try to have that entire vision of the operational excellence also. So trying to integrate not only a specific process, but another ones that could also be involved in the initiative. So having teams like my team, that is a business enablement and transformation team. So we are the supporters of that strategy, but we are behind the scenes. So we are not the ones that are on the stage, but we are creating the stage. Another point that I will also share with you is around the intelligent operations, because companies will see in the some companies are now capturing value and they understand what is an intelligent operation model, but I think that is also a next step that companies will try to embrace.
May I ask, so it's what it sounds like from this last 45 minutes that we've been speaking, that EDP has a very holistic approach to process mining, right? Looking at the value in the value-based insights for the customer, looking at how process mining can integrate into not just, the explorative data process view, but also how it integrates into RPA and things like that. It seems like a very holistic approach in that sense. Now, it's been 4 years in the making. There's a very high user adoption, a lot of users using the tool. And do you have a tip, a trick or two that you can share for anybody that's at the start of their process mining journey? It's a big task. It's a large transformation for customers. Is there anything you'd like to share to, give hope, to make them forge ahead and continue with their journey?
So with 4 years of experience, I think that we could make another podcast only around key learnings. Yes, but I would try to select some of the most important ones. And yes, it's not easy to reach the this maturity level. Is a journey. It's not immediately. So we need also to try to manage in the very beginning some anxiety that could come from the investors or the sponsors of this initiative. So, but the first one, the first key learning that I like to share with you is that process mining is not so obvious to understand. So, this is a huge step that we need because people are traditional uh, uh, patterns of work with BI and also process mapping. So here we are working in a different stage. So we need to invest a lot explaining what is process mining. Okay, even 4 years ago, we have some people that is not understanding what is process mining. So we should invest a lot on the concepts and the impact, the relation with business. So the adoption, we need to create this and establish this kind of process mining community with regular communication, having business users that sometimes they are not in the same maturity level. So we need to deal with the different kind of maturity levels. But it's very interesting because in some moment in time, the members of the community, they are helping each other. So it's not only a challenge, is also very exciting to work in this sense of community where the upskilling around process mining knowledge is completely essential. The other point is when we join technical and functional knowledge, we are discovering and analyzing processes. And we productize the delivery model of process mining initiative. So we are introducing speed and efficiency. So be careful around that. If you have technical people and functional people, and they are almost far away from each other, and you don't have a agile product delivering. So we could face some issues around efficiency or even
I can
speed.
imagine.
And the last one is that we need to be completely obsessive about capturing value from process mining in a systematic way, and add the final layer of having a methodology above knowledge and technology. So we could have technology, we could have knowledge about processes, but we need also to have this methodology to capture value.
That was very well said, Ricardo. Well, since we are running out of time here for the episode, I was just wondering where could people go and, let's say, find out more about what you do in EDP, or maybe even get in touch with you.
You could reach me not only through the Process Mining in Action book. This is an important first step, but also in the social network. So I'm in LinkedIn, and I think that we could share my email. So you could count on me to support you in your journey.
That's absolutely great. Ricardo, this has been really lovely. I'm very happy to hear on how an organization already transformed in all those years, looking back 4 or 5 years and where they are now. And I hope our listeners also could get a lot of value from this our discussion. And to you listeners, thank you very much for being here with us. We are very happy to have you. If you like us, rate us on Apple Podcasts. tell us about your friends or to your colleagues. We are certain that there could be something for everyone in our business-focused podcast. If you have any question, just reach us out on miningyourbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. We are always replying, if it's not a spam, of course. And we'll be looking forward to hear from you. And, we will be here in 2 weeks with the next episode of Mining Your Business Podcast. So thank you very much. Thank you, Ricardo, for making the time for us. And good luck on your process mining journey in EDP.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.